All thanks to the giver and keeper of life. Welcome to this talk show program, Vivid View. I am Achilles. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Achilles Corner. Leadership does not depend upon being right. Say something, somebody.
To me, it talks about being humble. Because you as a leader, you don't look at your follower as a follower. As in, a wise man said that if I succeed and those I'm leading don't succeed, I have failed. Every person is a leader. So leaders don't just lead, they lead other leaders. So it talks about being humble. That is, it's not everything you know. I mean, you learn from others, whether big or small. Thank you.
My name is Moses Mosu. My opinion is, according to the question, you should learn to hear from others, understand their opinion. You might not always be right. So whatever you think is right from your own end might be wrong from the other person's end. So you always try to hear them. And when you notice they are right, that means you're wrong. So you must not always be right and then your right must be law. When you understand other people's opinion, because if you make this person happy, the next person can be affected. So when we are able to understand our different opinions, then you select from whose opinion might help project whatever you are trying to be as a leader. Then you should understand that you must not always depend on your right to be right. Thank you.
Wow, that's a good one. Thank you so much. You're so direct. Leadership does not depend upon being right. So because you're a leader does not mean you'll be right all the time. You should have a listening ear. You should accept other people's opinion, just as they mentioned. That will make you a complete leader. All right, we'll go straight to the business of the day. Interestingly, our topic for discussion today is leadership and values of good governance. Leadership by example. Okay, we'll take a short break. When we come back, the guests will be introduced. Please don't go away. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Welcome back. The topic has already been introduced as leadership and values of good governance. And with me in the studio is a known face. Let's make welcome a consultant, Yomi Philip Babashola.
Vivid View.
Say and do it.
So before discussion proper, follow us on our social media handles are displayed on the screen. You're welcome again.
Yeah,
So can we have your brief perspective on the subject matter?
Yeah, leadership and values of good governance. I'd like to first of all define what we mean by leadership.
Yeah.
Now, without any form of complexity, I'd like to define leadership in a very simple term that will make our audience to have strong understanding of what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
In simple terms, leadership is all about influencing a group of people for a common good. The key word in leadership is influence. And that influence was derived from the root word of influenza. The word influenza is like a virus that we know as cold and catarrh. Now, when you have cold and catarrh, the manifestation is that you sneeze.
Definitely.
The moment you sneeze, every other person in that same
Around
environment catches that cold and catarrh. That is what we mean by influence. That was where it was coined out from. So a leader in an environment, by the manifestation of problem solving, he naturally influences the people around him for a common good.
That's good. All right, thank you so much for that definition. So how do we now describe leadership and values of good governance?
Yeah, the two goes together. Leadership is the business of leading people, while governance is the process involved in leading people. It involves policy formulation and execution, management of human resources, and all kinds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now, when you match the two together, a leader cannot succeed without the element of good governance. And when you are governing the people, just like what I said earlier, is about influence. The way and manner you manage them, the way and manner you manage the resources, determine how you influence them.
All right, thank you so much. You have said it all. So the way and manner you manage people determines actually how you influence them. And that is one of the attributes too of being a leader. Managerial roles that one can play as well. That takes me to another question. What yardsticks should be considered before choosing a leader? Before choosing this influencer now, what do we consider?
Yeah, the yardstick to be considered for choosing a leader, we have a quite number of them. But for the season where we are now, I'd like to establish one fact, that leadership is not a title. Leadership is not an entitlement. Leadership is not a compensation plan.
No.
Leadership is all about offering yourself for service. Because in this part of the world, leadership is all about offering yourself to serve the good of the people. It is all about you looking out on the welfare of the people. So when you are looking for the yardstick in selecting a leader, one of the things we need to do is to make sure that we verify the competence of that leader. One of the things we should do is to test the capacity of that leader. One of the things we should watch out for, the key thing in a leader that sells a leader is integrity.
Integrity.
Integrity. Integrity is what sells a leader. The followers must be able to trust the integrity of that leader. And one of the things we also watch out for when it comes to selecting a leader must be passionate about the people. A leader that has no passion will mislead the people. The third thing we should watch out for when selecting any leader, a leader must be visionary. That is, a leader
Must be a thinker.
Yeah, a visionary leader should be able to see the picture of a profitable future for his people. So those are some of the yardstick to consider when choosing a leader. We have a quite number of them, but those are the basics.
Yes, thank you so much. And I also want to chip in. You can also Google now to whoever I want to lead you to know the profile of the person.
That's why I said the capacity must be tested.
Exactly, must be tested.
And the competence must be verified.
Yes.
So it has to do with his history.
Yes.
And how well he has delivered in the past.
Thank you so much. You have already nailed it. I love that. But I will take a break now. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Welcome back. We are still discussing leadership and values of good governance. Okay, importance of good leadership in national development cannot be overemphasized. What are they, please?
Some of the importance of good leadership in national development. I said earlier, a lot of them, we have a lot of them. But one of the things is that when you have good leadership in power, it impacts on the economic growth of that nation. Yeah. It impacts on the economic growth of that nation. I'd like to give an example. In 1978, between 1978...
And even in the lives of the citizens, you see it in them.
Yeah. Between 1978 and 1989, the Chinese president that came into power, one of the first things he did was to impact the economic situation of that nation. Now, he shut down the economy from importing, and China was producing what they were using. Within that space of time, till now, China became the second largest economy in the world.
Yeah, so we always call it made in China.
Yeah, made in China. And then thereafter, it took half of the citizens out of poverty. Today, an average Chinese man is living well.
Tell you. Thank you so much. So you can see there are so many importance now. If you are a good leader, the citizen will feel a good leader because the infrastructures will be put in place.
Yes.
And so many other things. There will be good health, assessment to good health.
Yeah.
I mean, other things that will show you if you are a good leader. So it's not leadership by lips. Like I mentioned in my introduction, I say it should be leadership by example. And he quickly said that it's not by right. It's my tongue. No, that's not it. you have a lot of role to play to show your people, because you actually for the people. We say democracy is government for the people and by the people, of the people and by the people. So it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing at all. Then are there common challenges leaders face?
Yeah, there are many challenges that leaders face, but I'd like to mention two out of those challenges. Those challenges are common among all the leaders, whether corporate leadership or national leadership, any level of leadership. Those challenges
even at home self as a leader, father in the house.
Those challenges are human factors and management of resources. Most of the time, the people you are leading don't believe in your vision. And as a result of that, some of them tend to sabotage your effort. So as a leader, you need to deal with these. Those are the common challenges we have.
Yeah.
Then the second one is how to manage the resources to go around. How to manage the resources, how to manage the resources to circulate, to go around. Those are the things that most of these leaders face.
That is, it's not really easy to lead. They say, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Yes, a lot of challenges, just mentioned too, that leaders face. You know, distrust. People don't trust them. Even honor, no respect. People don't respect leaders. And they will forget that it's not easy to meet the needs of everyone. It cannot satisfy everybody. But do the one you can. Do the basic one, and then it will be very obvious. It will be glaring in the presence of people as a good leader. There are challenges in everything we do. I just mentioned even at home, as a husband at home, the head of the family, there are challenges. So deal with them, do the right thing, and then we leave the rest. Okay, how then do we improve good and value-oriented leadership system?
Yeah, I did a research, and I discovered that leadership begins from home. The leaders we are complaining about today, they all came from homes.
Yes.
So one of the results on how to establish good leadership is to institutionalize our leadership system. We should create the kind of value we want and make sure that everybody, every citizen is well educated in this area. There are some certain values that we have lost in our society that needs to be brought back. When you see a rogue today, check the home it came from. When you see an armed robber today, check the home it came from. When you see somebody that embezzled money, check the home it came from. So, but when we institutionalize our leadership system, beginning from the home, then we will get it right.
Thank you so much. Not necessarily because of hardship. You know, some people do certain things. I agree to some reasonable extent, but I usually say that it's not peculiar to you. That you don't have a job as a graduate. It's not enough for you to go into stealing, to go into kidnapping and pricing human beings like crayfish. It's not enough to turn to a nuisance. It's not enough to hack people's money, hard-earned money in the internet because you don't have a job. It has to do with you as a person. You are a bad person. That is why you think that's the only way to solve your problem. There are men who don't have a job, but they still have to maintain their integrity, to maintain their respect, to maintain the names of where they come from. So the same thing with leadership. You must have a good report. I think that's the right word to use. By people around, people will know. So when you come around and say, I want to lead, they say, okay, I think we know about this. You have done this, you have done that. Not just come and say, it's your right. No, that may not really necessarily be. And I will take a break. I won't come and enter question and answer session. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
I'm also Mark David by name. Sir, I would like to know, with the present condition and situation of Nigeria, will it be possible that someday we will have a Nigeria free of bad leadership and governance?
My name is Olaomi. Like you earlier said, that leadership is about influencing others for a common goal. But what do you say about a leader that's partial over the few to the detriment of others' opinions?
I'm Ovia Joy. Can a good leader succeed in the midst of people who do not believe in him?
Welcome back. A lot of questions from the audience, so we want our guests to attend to them.
Okay, the first question says, do I believe that Nigeria can be free from bad governance one day? Yeah, I strongly believe that Nigeria can be free from bad governance. Everything rises and falls on leadership. If we get our leadership system right, Nigeria can be free. We have examples. We have examples of nations Ghana was worse than Nigeria, but the president, Jerry Rawlings, the late president, came in, and today Ghana is an enviable nation in Africa. The same thing goes for Singapore. It just took only one man to turn things around. So if we get our electoral process right, then Nigeria can be free from bad governance. Then the second question says, a self-centered leader that is selfish, a leader that favors others above other people can never succeed. It is not one of the qualities of a good leader. Wherever you find such leaders, they don't actually succeed. Those people are not actually leaders. They are not leaders. A good leader will not favor someone else above other. A good leader is always very fair, believe in equity and justice. So when you see such leaders, they are not leaders.
Yeah, they're not leaders. And when you come to, because we're talking of governance now, you know, it becomes the nepotism. Yeah. Only one side, one tribe just handling, being head of affairs of things in the nation. It's not right. So we must put things right, set our target right, and things we're going to do as leaders. We must not be partial. Any leader that is partial will not succeed, will not do well.
Yeah. The third question, that can a leader succeed in the midst of those who do not believe in him? Yes, a leader can succeed in the midst of those who do not believe in him. There are two patterns of leading people: leading from behind and leading from the front. If you are the kind of leader that leads from behind, people will not believe in you.
You lead from the front.
You lead from the front. We have a scenario that is actually happening right now in Ukraine versus Russia. The president is at the forefront of the war. The president is dressed in camouflage, fighting the battle with the citizen. Tell me how the citizen will not believe in him. I was told that one of the neighboring countries offered him jets to take him out of the country. He said no. He refused. He said, if I leave, then who am I leading? So tell me now, history will not forget him. Even if he offers his son tomorrow to come and lead, people will believe.
That's leadership by example.
Leadership by example. So one of the ways to succeed as a leader is leadership by example. You walk your talk. And somebody said something, that if you need to introduce yourself that you are a leader, then you are not one. It's just like a lady that has to introduce herself that I'm a lady. Then she's not a lady.
I wonder.
Then she's not a lady.
Because it's obvious, people will know that you're a lady. People will know that you're a man. Honestly, by the time I start telling somebody, don't you know who I am? I am the managing director of this place. Or even a husband asking his wife, don't you know I'm the head of this family? You're already a failure. Because your wife knows that you're the head of the family. Your subordinate knows that you're managing director. So you need to earn it. It's not just by gra-gra. So we have to do things the way it's supposed to be. A leader can succeed in the midst of those who did not trust him or her at the beginning, depending on how he himself comports himself as a leader. He has some work to do by conviction, and that conviction is practical, what they can see. You see those people who say, oh, this man cannot lead us. You see them change, you say, I think we made a mistake, we misjudged him. He can lead us. With what we have seen, he's a good leader. Those who said no before will come to say yes, because you have shown them example. So that is very, very key. Be a good leader, and leadership by example. Now, Wes, your final words, please.
Yeah, my final word on this program is concerning 2023 election.
Wow.
Nigeria is about to enter a season, a very unique season that we might not have that same opportunity again. And with what I've said on this program, I like each and every one of us to take it as a responsibility to vote for the right person. We all know the right person. We all know. Your conscience tells you that this is the right person. Because if we get it wrong in 2023, we will never get it right again. So my parting word on this program is that 2023, let's make it a project. Let everybody go out with their PVC and let's look out for these leadership qualities. I said earlier, don't forget that leadership is not a title. Leadership is not an entitlement. It is not a compensation plan. Leadership is about offering yourself for service. Now, how do you know who is coming to serve you? Look at his antecedents.
Yes.
Look at his results. They have track records.
Yes.
So you can use their track record to judge them.
Do they
So-
have integrity?
Do they have integrity?
Do we have stories about them? What they have been doing before? These are the things you do.
So these are the things we look out for.
Yes.
So to pick the next president for Nigeria. If Nigeria gets it right, your life will be right.
I key into that by saying the first thing you will do, go and get your PVC. And if you struggle to register, struggle also to retrieve the PVC. Do not stay at home, because if you don't have that card PVC, you cannot cast your vote. That is the power of vote. You left your job, devoted a whole day to register, devote another whole day again to get your PVC with you. It's very, very key. And vote for whoever you know you can convene within you. It's not by tribe, it's not by religion. I do not believe that. But who will do and help Nigeria? Because there's no road meant for Yoruba, Hausa, or Igbo. There's no market meant for separate people. We all are users of all. So who will take us to the promised land is who we have to vote for after looking at their faces. And again, it's not for a party, because I'm this party, I'm this party. This party and this party have failed us. And we cannot continue. This party said this one didn't do well, we'll take over. The one that they say failed, want to take over again. You have to stop playing with our intelligence. And they will go and buy your vote. They give you 4,000 to buy vote. 1,000 for 1 year. Those of you, I don't know how to tell them, say to those in villages. That's the meaning. 1,000 for 1 year. If you buy your vote and you put them in again to rule yours, why not suffer as we're suffering and put the right person, and things will change for better for everybody. Be wise. Enough is enough. Be wise. All right, that's my conclusion. Having said this, I want to thank our guests again for your presence with us, and our production crew, and of course, audience here present, and those viewers at home. Thank you for joining this program, making it a reality. I will not stop thanking our sponsors. God will continue to provide for you so that you keep this program on air. I want to round up again by inviting comedian Bini Ajabo to sign out this program. Until I come your way again next week, same time, same station. Bye. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Vivid View.
Say and do it.
No, truly, mommy, you are really trying. You people are trying. For Lagos like this, and I just the fresh everywhere, just fresh like this. For my area, goats don't they chop goat pepper soup based on leadership. That's why you see me now. I just package myself, make sure say, Mama say, Ajebo, leave, because I did stay upper before. When Mama bless me now, I can't stay upper Lawali. I enter Lagos again. I thought to stay. Mama, I don't enter Lagos. He said you go come my show. Say where you dey? I said I dey stay Ejigbo. Say Ejigbo, I'm sending you some account now. Send me your account. To try send account. I look at. He sent me house rent money. He said come up from Ejigbo. I move. I enter here in Ejigbo. See me now. But the guy they deceive me since when they talk about leadership. Like say they give our leader, make our leader they use our language. Our leader for don't go fast sense. Example of leadership. If leader they use tribe. When I dey go, my mama go call out name that affect the problem of the house. As an Igbo man, if you check all the Igbo guys where they bear, if I find name now they watch. All those guys where they bear Chichi, if you find the history, you go know. Like my neighbor Papa Nkechi, when he was born, now he ask a wife, what is the problem of this house? The wife then said, our chair for parlor, bedbug don't finish am. The woman come born girl, true. The name of the ceremony say, now the problem of the house I will give him, and I give the girl Chichi. So all those Igbo guys where they bear Chichi, English name now bear bug.
No,
He born boy last week.
Chinchi is different.
He born boy last week. Now he has a wife. What be the problem of this? I say that Titus fish we get for us, rat don't chop him. He say this our son. We go give him okay. So mommy, what did they call okay for Igbo land?
Nah, that, nah.
Right. Okay.
They're different from okay. Yeah.
Now let me come back to English aspect again for my leadership. Guy here. It's talking about leadership. I want to ask on between me now. I want to talk to the audience, mommy. Between me and 500 million US dollars, what I go collect? More need to talk this truth now. If they cook now, the English will talk say, more they interpret with our English language so that we can communicate effectively. Forget effectively and the English. Use your tradition to talk. If we they cook stew now, say peppermint for inside stew. What did they call that stew? The stew is what? No, you know the ground. Mommy go tell you the stew is pepperish. But if they cook say mangi for inside the soup, what did they call that soup? Not be Margaret. You don't know how to cook. If they cook say salt many for inside the soup, what do we call it, mommy? Salty. What of say they cook say pomon many for inside that soup? What do you call them? Pomorish. Now, let me come to the closure of the day. If you meet Yoruba man they give the children them according to the problem where they get instantly. I think like a Yoruba man. If you give a Yoruba man quick notice now, you go give his first son, Timile, push me for back. If you accommodate the Yoruba man, once you accommodate the Yoruba man, what do you go hear? Wole, the second son Wole. If you Yoruba man never hear chop bush meat at all, what do you go just give a pikin? Or there with me, hunter fits me. So that's why every tribe get their own. My name remains MC Binyadebo.